All trainees in a certain aviator training program must take both a written test and a flight test. All of them must take both a written test and a flight test. If 70% of the trainees passed the written test, that means now we have to draw the grid for the people who passed the written test, who failed the written test. Similarly, the people who passed the flight test and people who failed the flight test. And that way we have a grid of 2 by 2, and now we have to solve this question. Everybody has to take this test. 70% of the trainees passed the written test. So let's assume that the total trainees who are taking the test is 100. 70% passed the written test, that means the remaining 30% failed the written test. 80% of the trainees passed the flight test, that means the remaining 20% trainees failed the flight test. What percent of the trainees passed both the tests? So this is the region which represents who passed writing test as well as the flight test, and we have to find the value of x. Now, because we have to use the same information in the two statements, so I'm just copying this grid for my two statements. Here is the first copy, and here I get the second copy. Now let's quickly start using the first statement. Now, the first statement here says that 10% of the trainees did not pass either test. That means this particular region is 10. If this is 10, this part will be 20 minus 10, which means it will also be 10. That means the value of x will be 70 minus 10, that is 60, which means we have the value of x 60, which means the first statement alone is sufficient to answer the question. So we can eliminate three options, B, C, and E. The answer must be between options A and D. Now, the second statement, let's look at the second statement now. The second statement says that 20% of the trainees passed only the flight test. Only the flight test. That means they passed the flight test, but they failed the written test. That means this particular region, because this word only is used, that means those people must have failed in the written test. So this particular region has been given 20 as per the second statement. If this is 20, x will be 80 minus 20, that means equal to 60. And since we again have the unique value of x, the second statement alone as well is sufficient to answer the question, and therefore we mark D option as the correct answer, which states that each statement alone is sufficient to answer the question. Thank you so much.